Hello and welcome back to the battle. My name is Colin, and today I wanted to talk about the most disgustingly broken Pokemon of Scarlet and Violet, Fluttermane. So, now, going into this, if you went back in time and told me a year ago that Misdreavus might happen to get an evolution and be the most broken Pokemon of all time, I wouldn't believe you. I'd say you're lying, and I would just go on with my day. But unfortunately, this is the reality we live in. Fluttermane is absurdly insane. So first off, let's look at the move pool of what makes Fluttermane so good. So the moves that it gets are pretty good. We've got Dazzling Gleam, we've got Shadow Ball, Moonblast. That's basically all you need. We have a Spread Fairy move, we have Moonblast, and we have Shadow Ball. Moonblast still hasn't been nerfed, still like one of the strongest moves in the game for what you're getting. Just absolutely insane, right? Those are the moves we need. We've got potentially Fake Tears, we got Confuse Ray, Icy Wind, pretty good. It's a very fast Pokemon. We get access to Thunder Wave, Taunt, Calm Mind, Helping Hand, and obviously Terra Blast. So this Pokemon has the move pool for it. It's got amazing typing in Fairy Ghost, which gives it insane offensive coverage. What is really wrong with this Pokemon? What are the weaknesses of this Pokemon? Let's look at those stats. So the stats here leave a little bit to be desired in the defenses and the HP, but the special tech, special defense, and speed are through the roof. This Pokemon is extremely fast, hitting 205 speed if you're timid. The special defense is insane just for a bulky glass cannon. Like, this is something we take. And then the special attack 135 is nothing to scoff at. That's absolutely insane, especially with the ability of Fluttermane being that of all the past forms, which allows it to get a boost in its highest stats. So you potentially could get a speed boost with 205, or you could potentially get a special attack boost with 205 if you wanted to run Modest. So you basically get to choose which boost you get, which is pretty awesome. But the speed boost is absolutely insane as well if you're using it with either the booster energy or potentially with Torkel in the sun. I think early on, Fluttermane is going to be used primarily as just a glass cannon nuke. Running something like Choice Specs or Booster Energy seems like it's going to be the norm early on. But we'll have to wait and see. Let's look at some sets you could run for Fluttermane. Right off the bat, I think a Choice Spec set seems like it's going to be the strongest set. You could either run either Terra type, you could either be Ghost or Fairy, I think whichever one you think is more useful. I'd probably go with Ghost early on, but you just run Choice Specs. You got Photosynthesis, obviously. Can't really change the ability, unfortunately. Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, Moonblast, Mystical Fire is absurd. And I think that just running max special attack and max speed seems to be the way to go. It's just going to give you the most out of the kit, and it's just letting you rip big holes in Pokemon. I would primarily think of this as a lead Pokemon just because you're going to do big damage, and you're going to just tear holes for the rest of your team and then break something else in and just clean it up with your Terra typing or with your Terra sweep, and that's all you got to do. I think Fluttermane is absolutely absurd. This is, I think, the best set and the set that we're going to see the most early on, but I think this is a fun set that you could also try. Booster Energy. So the last one is Timid, but this one is Modest. So you run Booster Energy to give yourself a special attack boost because you have a higher special attack than speed. So you get a special attack boost, and then you run Shadow Ball, Moonblast, Substitute, and Protect. I think Substitute is a ridiculously good move, and it's been a while since Substitute has been good because Dynamax would remove Substitute very often. So I think this Substitute set could be pretty good. You're obviously getting a special attack boost, and so you're just able to stall turns with Substitute and Protect until you can find an advantageous position to strike with Shadow Ball or Moonblast. You have insane coverage with Ghost Fairy, so I feel like this set could be pretty solid, and it's a very fast Pokemon naturally, so setting up the Substitute would be fairly easy. Now, we obviously know how to use Fluttermane. We know why it's so broken. Absurd coverage, big damage. But let's look at some partners. So first up, we have ChiU, which is the new legendary fish Pokemon. Absolutely love this Pokemon, but it does get access to the ability Beads of Ruin, which means the special defense stat of all other active Pokemon is reduced by 25%. Now this is the first knee-jerk reaction of pairing for Fluttermane. Lowering their special defense while Fluttermane gets to strike is absolutely absurd. Absurd stuff right there from ChiU. It just sets up KOs for you. This Pokemon is relatively fast as well, 100 base speed. So if Fluttermane doesn't pick up the KO, ChiU definitely will probably be able to. It just seems like a silly, stupid combo early in the format. I expect to see a lot of this early on just because of how strong ChiU's ability is. So yeah, this is the natural first partner, I think, for Fluttermane. Also, I mean, obviously they have good synergy with each other, but they also have pretty solid synergy with other Pokemon, and it's not really like super limiting in team building. Like, these two Pokemon don't have to be led together. They don't even have to like, you know, like be brought together. They don't rely on each other at all, but they just complement each other very, very well. You're also getting 4 unique types. You've got this really strong Fire Dark type, and then you get a Fairy Ghost type as well. So I think ChiU is an exceptional partner, and one I'm expecting to see early on here for Fluttermane. Next up is Torkel. I think Torkel is really funny because it gets access to Drought, which would proc the Photosynthesis. So if you were to run a Choice Spec set, you could run Modest instead of Timid. You could run Timid too, but you could run Modest, and then you'd get +1 special attack and Choice Specs because of Torkel, and now Torkel gets access to Helping Hand. So you're able to actually increase the special attack stat of Fluttermane, and you're able to Helping Hand with Torkel. I think this is just a silly combo. I saw it on Twin Needle's Twitter. Absolutely hilarious combo. I totally think this is actually like a thing you could do, and it doesn't even seem bad. Obviously they rely on like leading together, but I think Torkel has other good moves such as Body Press. I think it gets Burning Jealousy. No, it doesn't get Burning Jealousy. It gets Yawn. You know, Torkel's a good mon. You could also run more past Pokemon, which I totally think is probably good. You could run Lilligant. You could do a lot here. You could run Eruption as well. So there's a lot of options for Torkel to be paired with Fluttermane. I think it's like a silly combo. I kind of think it's more memey. I think ChiU is like a more consistent option, but I think Torkel sounds really funny, especially with the special attack boosting one, and you just run Helping Hand Torkel. So I think this could be a really funny combo, but yeah. I think overall Fluttermane is just a really, really strong Pokemon. I think it can be slapped onto a variety of teams, just as this Glass Cannon nuke that you just have the option to use. Very good at checkmating. You could just spam Dazzling Gleams until the cows come home and just win the game. So I think it's just very flexible Pokemon, while also being, you know, pretty consistent. It seems like it has really good damage. It's got Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball. It's got Mystical Fire to hit Steel types super effectively. You just have so many options with this Pokemon, and I think it's going to be a mainstay in this format. I think it's going to be a Pokemon that you're going to have to think about and prepare for accordingly. The typing is absolutely disgusting. Goes very silly. So yeah, I think Fluttermane has a potential to be a very, very sick Pokemon, and a Pokemon that you're going to need to be ready for, or you're going to have to use. But yeah, it just seems very splashable, and I think it's probably the best Pokemon that we can see right now. Obviously, time will tell. This is very early in the format. This is, you know, the Monday after the game's release. So who's to say how good Fluttermane will truly be? Now let's look at some funny calcs to end the video. So the first calc I've whipped up for you today is a Dazzling Gleam Choice Specs +1 Fluttermane. So this is with Torkel, and this is also with Helping Hand. So this is a Helping Hand, Choice Specs +1 Dazzling Gleam to a ground type Garchomp. This isn't even like he's ground ghost. He's not a dragon type. So this is a Garchomp Terras. You can literally kill Garchomp with a spread move when it Terras. That's beyond disgusting. That's so dumb. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. Now, currently we don't have access to like ChiU's ability, so we can't really look at like how much Fluttermane would be doing if we were to lower their special defense with his ability. But we can still look at how much a Shadow Ball would do from a Specs Fluttermane to Excadrill. You know, this is a Pokemon that normally you would think is pretty good in the Fairy types. It is a Steel type, but we're doing 72 to 85%. Let's check out Mystical Fire, because I think that's just going to one-shot. No, it comes close. This is a max HP Excadrill, by the way. This is like no slouch. Max HP 20. Mystical Fire literally can OHKO an Excadrill. That's absurd. This mon's doing crazy damage. Even on Roaring Moon's best day, running max defense, max special defense, max HP, calm. Still can't live a spread dazzling gleam from our good friend Fluttermane. I just think Fluttermane is absolutely absurd. I think if you guys aren't considering using it, you guys should. And if you're, haven't thought about trying to beat it, you guys definitely need to, because this Pokemon is nasty. Nasty. I've been indoctrinated into the Fluttermane family. I think this Pokemon is absolutely insane. And you guys at least got to give it a try, because I think this Pokemon has potential, has huge, huge potential. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly think this is the best Pokemon in the game right now. You guys got to try it. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Peace.